Welcome to this webinar, an introduction to the new Bitrix24 Enterprise Edition. So who are we? I am Damien Edwards, the Commercial Manager at Intreface, and with me I have our Senior Sales Consultant, Sam Connor.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks very much for joining the Enterprise Cloud webinar today. If you do have any questions as we go through today's webinar, please do add them into the chat box and we'll run through those during today's intervals.
So we are Bitrix24 Gold Partners. We are located in the UK and US, and we can provide pre-sale support, so scoping out your requirements, providing you a demonstration of the system. We provide a full implementation service, and we provide ongoing support. What is Bitrix24? A suite of tools for sales, project management, and HR. More than 10 million organizations are live users of Bitrix24. It's available as a cloud edition or a self-hosted on-premise edition. And pricing, basic package starts from just $49 per month. The Enterprise Cloud Edition that we're talking about today from $399 per month for 250 users. So the editions of Bitrix24, it is available as a cloud solution and on-premise. The cloud has a free package, basic, standard, professional, and the enterprise we're talking about today. And the on-premise is available in two editions, business and on-premise enterprise. We're going to be focusing on the cloud enterprise, but we'll just touch on what's available on the on-premise as well. So let's start with features available for the new Enterprise Cloud Edition. So those are one of the flagship features is a multi-branch feature, allows you to create connect up multiple instances of Bitrix24. We do have improved performance as well, very important feature for a lot of businesses. There is encryption, some security compliance features, including encryption, audit log, and some other security features. I'll pass you on to Sam, who's going to show you through some of these features.
Great. Thanks, Damien. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to have a look at today is the multi-branch feature that's available on the Enterprise Cloud system. So essentially, to be clear on this feature, what this allows you to do is to manage multiple Bitrix24 accounts from a centralized master account. So essentially, now every single branch that you have inside your system, you can manage from one central master account. Okay, so each one of these, as we can see here, we have several branches here, so Scandinavia, Europe, Latin America. Each one of these is a separate Bitrix24 account, and that's very useful for many organizations. We're going to cover use cases later in today's webinar. It essentially allows you to have separation of each of your businesses, but under one master Bitrix24 account system. So in terms of permissions and what users are able to access, you have lots of control here by having complete separation on those Bitrix24 accounts. So you can manage the employees' access permissions in each individual branch. And then within the parent company here that we can see, so we can see all of the branches, this is your master account. And this is where you can manage those branches. So we can see the invitations across different branches that you can invite employees across the different branches. It allows you to collect reports and get actionable data from across the different branches that we have inside our system. So inside here, what we can do is we can, from the master account, we can connect additional Bitrix24 accounts into our system. So it's a really simple process to actually add a new branch into our master account. And what we can also do, which I think is a really nice feature here, is we can invite users from different branches across our Bitrix24 network. So let's say, for example, it could be we have a group of businesses and actually maybe someone is seconded to another business within that group. Well, it's simple to invite that person then into another branch across your Bitrix24 master account. So we can have complete separation, but then allow people to have access to different branches using the master control system.
Okay, thanks. We've had a question about multiple branches and users on multiple branches.
Yeah.
Can a user join more than one? Can a user join more than one branch at a time? Essentially, I think is the question.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we can do is using the invite from other branches feature here is we can select that user and then add them into additional branches inside that network. So yeah, we can add people across those different branches. Okay, and then so moving on, so let's look there at the multiple branch feature. Another really, I would say, is a critical aspect of the enterprise cloud system is the improved performance you would have on your Bitrix24 system. So key aspects to look at here is that the enterprise cloud is on a dedicated server infrastructure, essentially. So it ensures maximum reliability and also availability with dynamic load balancing. So this essentially means we have high performance cluster infrastructures that provide speeds up to 10 times faster than the other Bitrix24 cloud systems. So if you may find you've got a lot of data on your current Bitrix24 cloud system, you may find we have clients who have hundreds of thousands of leads and contacts in their system. You may see as you're moving around the CRM, for example, that data is maybe slower to load due to the actual demands you're putting on the current infrastructure. So this is really, I would say, where you may start to look at moving and upgrading to the enterprise cloud system, because you're going to see a significant improvement in performance. We've already had customers who have upgraded from their pro editions to the enterprise, and they've seen significant and almost immediate impacts on their performance. So if you're right now thinking about, the actual speed on your system, the enterprise cloud system is something you really should start to think about to get that increased speed and performance from your software. And if we just move on for that, looking at, there are 2 geographically placed data centers. So all data is stored in SOC compliant AWS data centers. There's also higher REST API performance, so it's up to 2 times faster. And then we also have 99.99% uptime guarantee. And I just think it's important. Sometimes people are put off when they see enterprise and they think that's for organizations of, say, 500,000 employees. It really doesn't mean that. When we're looking here, if Bitrix24 is a key part of your business, if it's a key piece of software, then really you should be looking at the Enterprise Edition, because you're going to get the most robust performing Bitrix24 system, and that will help you gain more value from your Bitrix24 software.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, and especially if you're using that REST API and you're connecting up other data sources with Bitrix. If you're using apps or if you're connecting with other systems, then speed is really important there. And you're right. I think you're right in what you say there, Sam. You don't have to be an enterprise level business to get a lot of value out of this improved performance. So we see this as the really key feature of the enterprise edition.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's look there at the performance. And as we say, we've already seen customers who are gaining valuable performance improvements by upgrading to the enterprise cloud system. And moving on to look at some of the improved and additional features for security and compliance. So we have AES 256 encryption across the system. So all data is encrypted at rest as well as in transit. We also have an audit log. So here we have a detailed log of all users' activity across your Bitrix24 system. So there may be businesses who are watching this, maybe in the financial sector or banking. It's mandatory for you to have that information inside your systems and software. So having that audit log is kind of critical for your business. And there are also single sign-on features. So through Active Directory, SAML, or social logins, such as through Google and Facebook, we have that single sign-on capability as well.
Yeah, I think these are all good to have features, aren't they? But like you say, they are. If you're an enterprise level business, they're mandatory. Really, you can't use software like this without particularly audit log, single sign-on, and encryption. Really, so there's a lot of businesses out there that are going to be taking advantage of this edition of Bitrix because of the introduction of these compliance features, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've also got some additional, not rather new features, but higher limits on that functionality that you already have in your Bitrix24 system. So in terms of storage space, there is up to 100 terabytes of storage if you're looking at the 10,000 user edition of the enterprise cloud system. So lots of storage space there to capture your data and information. There's also backups for up to 30 days and higher bulk email limits. And I think this is quite a nice feature for enterprise kind of size organizations. You may have a large pool of administrators who are managing your pieces of software. With the enterprise cloud, we have up to 25 admin accounts. So I think that would help in terms of resourcing for your administrating teams. There we have up to 25 admins available on the enterprise cloud system.
Okay, thank you very much. So what are the use cases? What sort of businesses are going to benefit from the new enterprise edition of Bitrix24? So we think there's quite a few. The number one, regional and group structure businesses. So businesses that have multiple offices in multiple regions or have multiple businesses within a group that want to operate separately and take advantage of that multi-branch feature. That's a kind of obvious one. So you can have multiple businesses, but you can have one administrator across all of those businesses. Franchising is a very good example as well. I think Sam's going to show us an example of that inside the Bitrix system in a second. If you're looking at those compliance and security features that we mentioned, then if you're in banking and a lot of other sectors, then they're going to be mandatory for you. And again, for government, I think those single sign-on, that encryption, those encryption features are going to be a minimum requirement. So those sort of businesses should be looking at the enterprise edition. And we put there all large organizations. So if you're a larger business, 99% of large businesses use single sign-on. So that's just one feature that really is going to mean that enterprise is the right addition for you. So I'll pass you on to Sam. I think we're going to have a look inside the Bitrix system and an example of how this enterprise edition might work for a franchise business.
Great. Thanks, Damien. Okay, so let's now move into our Bitrix24 enterprise system. So as Damien mentioned, a good use case for using the enterprise cloud system is the franchise network. So you could have multiple organizations under a franchise network. Now you want to be able to, as the head of the franchise organization, be able to manage the administration of all of those franchisees from that master account. But really, you don't want all of those franchises to be on the one Bitrix24 system, because they're going to have their own CRM data, they're going to have their own leads and in their own sales process that they want to be able to use on their system. And right now, if they're all on one Bitrix system, you don't have that separation. So this is really where the enterprise cloud system can come into play. So for example, inside our lead database here, we can manage all of the leads. So whereas a franchise store here, I can see all of my leads in the system, and I'm able to set my own lead stages here. So we want to be able to have that personalization for our sales process in our franchise store. And then using that multi-branch feature as that kind of administration role, we can then control the permissions within our branch here. But then let's say we're as another franchise store, we can have complete separation then inside our CRM system. So inside here, this is a completely separate CRM system. The other franchise store can't access our CRM. So we have, in terms of security, we have that complete separation, which may be required for law in different jurisdictions. So then inside here, we can set the leads, stages that we want for our particular franchisee. So you have that complete separation in the system. All of the information we're storing in our CRM is completely separate to the data points in the other franchisee stores. So you don't need to be concerned around access rights and security. Because you have complete separation with each branch, it enables you to manage your franchise CRM system in its own unique process. And then another, I think, really important way the branch feature works really well within our Bitrix24 enterprise system is being able to actually have all of our employees in their own separate unique databases. So in our franchisee, we'll have our departments, so we can set up our company structure for our particular franchise departments and stores. And we can then also have all of our employee database stored within our employee structure here. But we're not going to see all of the employees from the different franchisees, which we don't want to do within the one Bitrix24 system. So having that branch feature means we can just see the information that we need to see within our Bitrix account. So that's security, and we've seen already a lot of questions coming around how the branch feature allows complete separation for different organizations within a group. Really, this is what you would need, because right now in the current Bitrix24 cloud, every single person from across those different companies would be in that one Bitrix24 system. The branch feature allows you to have that complete separation across your different franchises or businesses within that group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot of countries. Most countries have their own regulations around how data's held and how data can be shared outside of that country. And so by having separate instances, if you're a business that has different offices in different countries or different businesses around the world, then having those separate and kept within those jurisdictions is going to be important to you. So absolutely. I think maybe some businesses find it difficult to comply with some of those regulations because difficult to get systems that do allow you to keep data separate in separate jurisdictions. But this edition of Bitrix will allow you to do that, make sure you're compliant on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had questions as well earlier on regarding, can we then control the actual access rights for the users in that branch? Well, yes, you can, because you've got the global control within your admin account. You can then set the permissions across those different branches. So it kind of brings in the feature where we mentioned around having 25 administrators. You may need quite a large admin team to actually set the permissions across the different branches if you have a lot of branches. So those features kind of really work well together. You can have a large administration team to be able to control the security across the different branches inside your system.
Absolutely. So let's just touch very, very quickly on the on-premise edition of Bitrix24. So the new cloud edition is the top edition of the cloud packages. It might be that it does everything for you. Hopefully it does. If you want additional customization, if you want your own branding, if you've got any other particular concerns or particular requirements around data location, then the on-premise might be the option. Might be an option you want to consider. So get in touch with us. We'll talk through your requirements and we'll make the best recommendation on which edition is going to be right for your business. So let's have a look at questions. We have one in here, a couple in here. Is it possible to use some sort of OTP, one-time password, or double authentication for companies that only use a PC or desktop computer, so they cannot log in from another location? So you can, with the cloud enterprise edition, I don't think there's any restrictions on access. Well, sorry, there is a one-time. You can use one-time password on Bitrix, I believe. Is that right?
You can, yeah. There's OTP, yeah.
Yeah, you can use the Bitrix app or other apps to authenticate people with that with a password or passcode. If you wanted to restrict people accessing by location, then you could actually do that with the on-premise, where you can restrict by IP address. But I think actually OTP is a standard feature, isn't it? I think of Bitrix, of all cloud editions of Bitrix, it's probably not on the free edition, but I think on all the commercial editions, I think I'm right in saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Just got another question here as well. Is there a limit to the number of users on the enterprise cloud? So in terms of where the user edition starts, we start at 250 users, and that can roll up to 10,000 users on the enterprise cloud. And if you have more than that, then I believe we can scale beyond that. So it is a very scalable product in terms of how many users we add onto the system. Okay.
We are using Bitrix24. Is there a way to connect a mailbox with tasks? So every time an email comes into the mailbox, it creates a task. I think we've covered this sort of thing on other webinars, and it's not specific really to the enterprise edition. But I think I'm right in saying we've created sort of process, or you can create a process to do that. So yeah, you can copy that content from an email into a task. And I think probably the purpose of it is so that you can then set statuses on those messages. So yeah, it's not specifically an enterprise feature, but can be done within Bitrix24. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want to get in touch with us, then we could run through a demo of that, one-to-one.
Okay. Another question here is there a way to actually have a further conversation about the enterprise system after the webinar today? So yeah, absolutely. So our details are here on the screen. So you can email sales@intreface.com, or happy to have a call if you want to call, and we can discuss the enterprise in more detail with you. And I think just important, as we mentioned earlier on, that this system is not just for enterprise level size organizations. If Bitrix24 is a fundamental part of your business, the performance improvements you get by having the enterprise system, as we mentioned, it's up to 10 times faster, then you really should be looking at the enterprise edition. So please do contact us, and we'll be able to discuss this in a lot more detail with you moving forward as well.
Yeah. Okay, Jose has asked if there's an example of the audit log of the enterprise version. Fortunately, we can't show you that today, but if you want to get in touch with us, we can do a one-to-one with you and show you the audit log.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of our help, how can we help you either evaluate or implement Bitrix? So if you want to get in touch with us on our email or phone, details on the left-hand side of the screen there, we're able to help you scope out your requirements. So I think, as we've mentioned, there's different editions. There's also an on-premise edition. We'll scope out your requirements. We'll make recommendations on which edition is best. It might be that it's enterprise. It might be it's one of the other cloud editions. It might be it's on-premise. We can then provide full implementation service. We can provide training to your users, and we provide ongoing support as well. So I think the key thing about working with a partner is you get a dedicated contact, a dedicated customer success manager. They're the person that does the scoping of your requirements. They're the person that manages the team to do the implementation. They're the person that will do the training for you. And they're the person that you contact when you've got support questions. So they learn about your business, they understand your business, they understand the system that's been implemented for you. So when you've got follow-up questions, they're able to advise you from a position of knowledge and give you, good proactive advice on how to get the best value out of the system. So if you want to get in touch with us, we can help you, onboard you with the new enterprise edition. And to say thank you for spending your time with us today, we have an offer for you. Anyone who upgrades through ourselves to the enterprise edition of Bitrix24, we'll give you a 3-month subscription to our Warp Speed support package. That's our top enterprise level support package. You get a dedicated contact, a dedicated customer success manager, unlimited number of support requests. We've actually got a 1-hour response time with availability also at weekends on that package, and we'll provide training sessions as well for you. So yeah, get in touch with us if you've got any follow-up questions. If you want a one-to-one demo, we can provide that sort of support package for you free of charge. Our details are on the screen there. Don't think we have any more questions, so we will leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye now.